everybody. For the moment, looks like I'm playing to an empty house. That's fine. Just going through and trying to get Celeste through the end of A Realm Reborn. Since y'all haven't really met her before. Hi, this is Celeste Greystone. She is my Duskwhite Lizen from the Warriors of Light that I've come up with for fanfic purposes and the like. She is currently a white mage and will remain so until we get into Heavensward. Once we get there, I'm going to change her out to a Dark Knight, and then we'll go from there. But I need to get to Heavensward before I can do that, so we are going to take the quest line and go chat with the other vegan refugees. I'm going to set a timer to make sure that I don't run my voice for too long. So I'm going to go ahead and pop a 3-hour timer going. And if you want to lurk, that's fine. If you want to hop in chat, that's fine too. Just let me know whenever you get here so I can say hi. Oh goodness, hang on. Let me see if I can adjust the volume on my microphone real quick. Hi, Estella. Give me just a second. Let me see if I can fix my audio input. 1 second. Alright. How is that? Is that any better? Or is it still kind of quiet? How about now? Alright, is that any better? Any better than it was anyway? Or what about now? Alright, how about this? Testing, testing, is that any better? Let me try readjusting the position of the mic too. Okay. I had the mic volume down pretty low, so that's probably why it wasn't really audible all that much. Got my tea to try and sustain my voice through this. How's the background noise for you guys? Is it... You can probably hear my AC, but can you hear anything else aside from that? Okay, awesome, awesome. Let me click over so that I don't get idled. Glad it's doing better than it was. Okay. There we go. So, yep. There's my girl. I've talked about her a lot in various fanfic discords. Awesome. Awesome. Background noise okay? Not too rough? Celeste is very happy to be making her streaming debut. And we are going to head out and speak with the refugees. Okay, cool. Well, because it's really, really loud on my end, because the old apartment AC units, they're whoosh. Yeah, as you can see, I have not really bothered to do blue quests on this alt as of yet. Trying to get through the MSQ before I really focus on blue stuff. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Vinfilia, and I lead the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. "'Twill be praised it is you. We're ready and willing to work, same as the Domus. Just give us a task and we'll see it done. Pray, calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know naught of your situation. Beg your pardon, Antecedent. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of Uldar for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the one what got took. They say there's work, but there's naught for an honest man. Nor does what sully his soul sooner than his palms in the road. The flames do what they can for us, of course, but it ain't near enough. And it's only getting worse.
When the calamity brought us to our knees and those rich bastards in the city didn't help us out. They helped us on our backs. They climbed on our backs, rather. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I could see what's coming. I knew we had to run, and the only question was where, and then it came to me. Revenant's Toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'd surely do the same for us.
I fear the situation is rather more complicated. While it is true that we accepted the Dolan's petition for aid, that decision was the product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight, but pray understand that it is not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. And so it is with great regret that I must decline your request.
But we've nowhere else to go. You're turning your back on us?
If I might have a word. Taru, is aught amiss? Ill tidings from Uldar, milady. Alphino has been wounded. What? How? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain. Hi, Zenfall, but I fear it might be. According to the flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently, lashing out at any and all. I'm going to turn that to direct advance instead of auto advance because the auto advance is too fast.
That can't be right. But would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. 7 hours. Now the Blades have an excuse. They'll round us up and kill anyone who tries to resist. Dissident, please, if you won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we got.
Milady, we are not ones to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, I am not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determine that the refugees attacked without provocation, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions.
How can you be so blind?
Find Alphino, and quickly. If he is in danger, or worse, I would have you and none other by his side.
All right.
Thank you. Pray, do not concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Ida and Papalimo will see to it. Alphino is being treated at the Hourglass. Hurry, Celeste.
Alright. I am very out of practice with voice acting and accents in general, so I apologize in advance for any of the accents that I have right now. But thanks to everyone for dropping in, and I really do appreciate it. It's gonna make doing this bit a lot. Oh. Ah yes, one of Curl's cryptids, the Dancing Pope. Oh jeez, so many blue quests. Oh, someone's barding. Oh. A little bit further down. I should have ported to the Adventurers Guild. It's fine. It's fine, we can walk. In the rain. We can just walk and suffer in the rain, it's fine. Up. And into the descent we go. Oh. Ooh, more barding. Hi, Alfie. Oh, what happened to you?
Come. You must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration.
Oh, hey,
As you can see, I am quite well. Uldar, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over.
You think?
Uldar is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs, because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life.
Now, why does that sound funny
To an
now?
Ul'dah,
Couldn't be anything topical.
money is the
There's no
foremost,
politics in
and
video
some would
games.
say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence.
I mean, it's the A Realm Reborn voice
So where do the
actors, so they would
refugees fit
sound
into
different.
this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity?
Because they completely switched voice actor casts between A Realm Reborn and
Plainly,
Heavensward.
there is none. They have no wealth, no
Yep,
power, and
hi
no worth.
Sam Riegel.
To the Ul'Dah way of thinking, they may as well
Sam.
not exist.
You performed the heck out of this role, but I'm sorry,
Choosing
sweetie,
to
you're too
ignore
old to
their
be voicing a
existence,
teenager.
however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight.
Oh yeah, this is about to be a
This has
freaking
prompted
powder
more
keg.
and more Uldans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions.
Oh,
It
I'm
was
sure,
only a
Alfie.
matter of time before the refugees united in protest. Nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence.
Because, of course.
That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
Now the timing for that is suspicious, if you ask me. Mysteriously, the Immortal Flames are... Oh wow. We got some farting wars going on. Let's see if I can adjust stuff real quick. Okay. Performances. Sorry, bards. I respect the heck out of what you guys do. I'm gonna turn these down to like 10, so you're not blasting my eardrums out. As I told you before, it was all but inevitable that an incident of this kind would eventually occur given the rising tensions within the Sultanate. Nevertheless, I have reason to believe that this particular riot may not have begun spontaneously. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good. Then you will accompany me to the Hall of Flames. I would hear what General Rauban has to say upon the matter. Alright, Alfie. I love you. You're still in your little shit phase right now, but I still love you. I could unlock the PvP stuff if I wanted to, but I don't really have a class that I'm trying to level right this second, so that's not really important to me right now. Ah, Rauban. Commander. Let's go. Now is not a good time, Private Greystone. My hands are full dealing with refugees. Precisely the matter we wish to discuss, General. Oh, for now, back on your feet already. You may credit my swift recovery to your diversions. My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation. Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not the unrest that had spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remain throughout Thanalan. We've sent what forces we can spare to root out the last of the belligerents, but the progress is slow. They are damnably elusive. I can well imagine. Given that the majority of refugees live outside the walls, it stands to reason that they would know the lay of the land. But What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several of the refugees were armed, and not with butcher's knives or pitchforks, but with martial weaponry. I need hardly add that such equipment is costly. None can deny that tensions between the Ul'Dan's citizenry and the refugee population have increased since the dormants were turned away. But would that motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. And what of those who have not even a single gil to spend, who could surely not survive without the aid provided by the immortal flames? Surely they'd sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors.
Come to the point.
Very well. My point, General, is that this powder keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion
And now order must be restored. That is my first duty. Until it is done, my investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning anon.
The General is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim, without the necessary proof, that these riots were instigated by outside forces, the monetarist would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticisms in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but I have far more faith in your abilities, Celeste. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation, independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries into settlements suspected of harboring belligerents. Commander Swift will know which they are. You may balk at a request for such information, but I've no doubt that you can persuade him with your silver tongue. I, meanwhile, shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we?
If you say so, Alphino. If you say so.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the standard teenage activist thing. You're like, I have all the answers, the adults are stupid, that they don't know what they're doing. If I were in charge, everything would be better, except... No. Good God, the light behind me is like blinding. Give me a second. Okay. There we go. That's mildly less blinding now. Alrighty. Swift, what do you have to say?
You look as though you have something to say, Private Greystone, do you? What you ask is no favor. With such information falls to the wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers will be risked. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. An able individual, even one with ties to the flames, may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well. The Brass Blades have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. It may be unrelated to recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking to the Blades posted there. Okay, Lost Hope. Where is... That's up by Black Brush. We're gonna port. Again, to whoever's tuning into the stream today, I really appreciate it. That this is definitely helping what would be one of the driest MSQ sections go by a lot faster. Alright. I'm Olverga. And what brings you here, adventurer? Search for refugees? Well, then you've come to the right place. Ah, you mean those refugees. Oh no, you aren't fine with here. Most people of Lost Hope have come to accept this situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like that merchant who passed through recently. Gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. Mysterious merchant, huh? Well, we say dry like Ul'Dah, Stella, but the weather would disprove you
right now. We're under the Sultanate, are we? I take it this means that someone has read my report. The refugees who left the merchant here to return, and I'm increasingly concerned that Zasawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't the book is what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind. Speak with Zasawaka. He will explain everything. Zasawaka. Okay. That's a name. Well, now at least there's some shelter from the rain. Hi, Zasawaka. Ah, don't hurt me. I'm not one of them. I beg your pardon? You're of the flames, but you're not with the flames? I see. If Leofric bid you speak with me, then I take it you've agreed to help. God be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. The others have fallen under that fanatic spell, but not I. Promises of revolution and retribution, of holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed. Ha! A childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would heed my words. Now that one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look behind yonder tent, and you'll understand why. Even now, he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet, I've no doubt that merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg of you, find them before he does. Find them before he does. Oh yeah? Well, just clicked, Estella. What are you doing? Don't draw! Why didn't you run away with me? Could have escaped together. And you be here with me. Be here to soothe me. Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? Oh dear. There. Come now. It's alright. No one's going to harm you. Who are you? What do you want? It's true, I followed the merchant and made the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give you must take, he said. When we asked how, he revealed a cache of weapons he had brought and ruled us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running them in there, but the others were so excited. He split us up into 2 groups, set us off on our own. But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, and then they started arguing, and then fighting, and then everyone was fighting, and the flames were trying to give no quarter, and... Oh gods, the other group. They're still out there. If we don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. That's not good. We're gonna go get them. The other refugees are hiding in the caves south of Lost Hope, but to approach them would be fruitless. They'd sooner call us agents of the Sultanate and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why, the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. A pox on all bloody soul swords. They were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggle. Oh, if only we'd never listened to that merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, that the gods would never suffer us to be defeated. Though, if they were forced to confront reality. That's it! Challenge the twins to combat and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one woman. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. Well, we'll see. Come on, Marcy, let's ride. Going through the river. Whee! Oh. Here we are. Here's the refugees. They're hiding out. Sorry, but the plot says I have to kick your butt. I'm gonna get my chocobo out. 7 O's, they found us! Everyone grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, is it? Sorry to disappoint you, lass, but we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. Alright, fine. Try it. Come Holy spam. Holy spam the third. Oh. Yeah. Do you realize that your cause is doomed? Beat him like it was nothing. Oh almighty, what are we gonna do now? You could try not. You could try just running, maybe, or not rioting. I don't know. Just don't do that again, alright? And now, fly back to the other page. This doesn't feel good. Because they're well within their rights to be upset, but... You've returned. Did you find my brethren? What are the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you have no choice. But if that handful of them take a beating from you, then they'll not get butchered by the flames. Yeah. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? Nothing. He wasn't there. Huh? But where else would he be? Unless he went to Stone's Throw to recruit others. That's seeming more and more likely. The merchant wished to approach the refugees in Stone's Throw, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop them from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of this futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him. Convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead us to ruin. I'll just fly. Porting wouldn't really save me that much time. So up we go. Gonna zoom out a bit while we fly. For some reason, zooming in really close while flying disorients me. Space in. Here we are, stones. Elle, are you okay? Oh. Have you seen my parents? Whoa, slow down. What happened here? They told me to stay here with the others. Said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left with the man from Uldar. The man said they were going to change everything. Make it so that we could live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry and I got scared. Say, miss, are you looking for someone? I'm looking for a merchant. You mean the man who left with my parents? But I don't know where he... Wait, look! Over there! I think that's him! Oh. Well now, which of these gullible fools shall be my next victim? You! Nope. He's getting away. Go get him, miss. That's the plan. That's the plan, little one. That's the plan. Bastards, too. Hi, you. What do you have to say to yourself? For yourself, rather. You again? Why are you pursuing me? You've been leading people to their deaths. That's my problem. Treason, revolution, who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The self-same refugees who terrorize the streets of Uldar? Ha! You have no evidence to prove your accusations. None! Oh, but I do. Why did you come? No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Plague. You have no right to detain me. Sir? For the sake of argument, let's say I did do the things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a kicker's ass about politics. It was business. Only business. You're looking rather worried. Why? Talk. We both know that I'm not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I shall tell you everything. I'm listening. Oh. Who just... Oh, God, you're kidding me. What is all this commotion? 7 L's. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be loose. Hold, adventurer. I would know more about your relationship with the victim as well as the events leading up to his death. So am I being detained now? I was investigating him in regards to the recent riots. Wait, this man was responsible for the recent riots? Gabriel was murdered out of gratitude. In any case, it is obvious you are not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, Scion. Don't like that. Don't like that one bit. Don't like that one bit at all. Hydration. Alright. Well, Swift, I've got news. It's not great, though. What news, Private Greystone? Where's the merchant? Dead. Whoever hired him had him murdered. Murdered? Down it all to the 7th hell. He was not simply murdered by silence. I was implying. Okay. Too many news things here to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though. We may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of the riot than we realize. Okay. Alright, a message from General Rowlon. Nice. Blame General left word and will proceed to the fragrant chamber as soon as you return. He wishes to discuss your recent discoveries as well as the results of our own investigation. Master Oppenheimer has already been informed that you'll be waiting for him outside. Pray proceed to the Royal Promenade with all haste and speak with Bartholomew. Okay. We're going. Yeah, it's interesting kind of going through now that you know what the Wall's general personality is. definitely having fun with the idea that Celeste was already implying that the guy was silenced, and then Commander Swift is just like, no, you don't understand. He wasn't murdered. He was silenced. Like, I was already saying that, but... Have your moment, I suppose. Alright, Alfie, what do you have to say? Excellent work, Celeste. The information you brought us helped me persuade General Raban to call this meeting. I hope now we can discuss matters openly and honestly. We've been expecting you, madam. Please proceed inside. Alright. I don't know if I have a necklace, so we'll take that necklace for now.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room.
Okay, secrecy.
The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the Calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination.
Would they be wrong?
Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate.
Yeah, agreed, Sylvia.
Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident
Oh yeah, and that's a
served as
great
call
time
to
to
arms.
New Game Plus stuff like A Realm Reborn. Especially because you've got the duty support system
sent
for
to
base
supervise
game.
a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
Oh,
We assumed at first that the
topical.
attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji. But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish
how about
permanent
now,
settlements.
Estella? Does it sound a little better? I'm still kind of fiddling with
Lost
the balance as I
Island.
go.
That was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield. The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge.
Of course.
What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations.
I love how this is an actual lore explanation
In
for
full
PvP
knowledge of this delicate
being a
state of
thing that
affairs,
exists.
Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Allagan ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean Alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
Welcome to capitalism. Can I take your order, Nanamo?
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution.
Yeah.
His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Welcome to capitalism and politicians, Nanamo.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Alphano.
Omega.
Oh, right.
Pardon?
That is a thing mentioned this early. Oh dear.
An Allagan monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon.
Oh dear.
Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Allagan inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself.
Created is
If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van
liberal
Dars chose to
application
bring
of
the
the
Red
term.
Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon. One which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Yeah, that is what he said.
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to
I
function.
mean, yeah,
As such,
true,
its true
Sylvia. They
potential
don't
cannot accurately
know,
be
but
gauged.
like,
However, if
me
someone were
with
to restore
Endwalker
it, as
knowledge,
the
I just
Guardians
find
did
it
the
funny,
Ultima
you
weapon,
know?
I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Well, that in retrospect, Alec gets to be
Power
like,
enough to subjugate
"We
Ul'dah
made
like as
this."
not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
oh yeah.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Ul'dah.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, like, it's fair that they would assume that Alec created it. It's just, I just find it funny, like I said, that in retrospect, Alec gets to historically grab a thing that was already there and be like, someone else made this. Mm-mm. We made this. Alright, let me click back in. Hi, Alfie. More voice acting? I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intended to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interests to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories. You are, of course, the Scion best suited to this task, Private Greystone. Do take a moment to visit the Hall of Flames and make inquiries at the earliest available opportunity. I wonder if that changes based on the grand company you're in.
Be God, well, this is no place for children.
Wow! Rude. I'm sorry. Yeah, Stella, that's a very accurate quote by Graha. I was looking for you, miss. You said you were looking for the man who left my parents. You know this girl? Well, I ran into her and tried to comfort her. So you visited the Stone's Throw as well, I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I'm afraid. Ah, damn it, skip that. Really? You helped me to look, mister? Of course. But first, I must needs finish speaking with my friend. He's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you could wait for me by that pillar over there. We require but a moment. Okay, mister. I'll be waiting. I'll take it to the quicksand. Mayhap Momodi will know what to do. Ah, Legion of Garleans, an ether-starved primal. Even dealing with an Ascian would be preferable to this charade. Sometimes I fear Menthilia's too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they arise, without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources, and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Oh. Celeste, this is Menphilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask that you return to Revenant's Toll with all due haste. The situation in the 12 Sword has taken a turn for the worse. I will explain in detail once you arrive. I've got to get going. Menphilia's calling. The 12 Sword? The primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed? I've received reports of Ixali activity which leaves... So, whoops. Go, Celeste. You know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the antecedent that while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I'm more than capable of protecting myself. Okay, sure, Alpha now. Yeah, so yeah, that seems, since they didn't voice it, less like a go and check out the Immortal Flame specifically, and more like a go talk with your specific grand company kind of a deal. Oh, Rising Stones, got it. Oops. How's the stream quality for you guys? There haven't been... Doesn't look like there's been any drop frames or anything on my end or frame rate issues, but I want to check and see how it's going with y'all. Can't exactly see how many of you are here right now because I don't have YouTube specifically opened up. Hi, Shola. History is our friend, young one. The answers to the problems of the present are oft to be found within the past. We need but seek them out. Aww, she's teaching one of the little Domans. That's cute. This is Thancred, who's drunk by the looks of it. Some 15 years ago, a mission took me to Uldar. 'Twas then I first chanced to gaze upon your beauty. I was utterly transfixed. I dared not blink lest I deprive myself of even a split second of your radiance. Thancred, buddy. Stop drinking so much. Men, honestly. It was a little pixely, huh? That's frustrating. I'm not sure exactly how to fix that off the top of my head. Alright, Menphilia, what's the situation? It is a relief to see you healthy and hale, Celeste. The latest news from Uldar was most disturbing. was the news? Clearly, the only injury Alphino suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it will heal Nunfilia, jeez, you don't have to murder the child like that. Oh no. The other scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you are ready to begin, I will summon them now. Okay. Nice, nice. I'm glad someone calls him out. Lord of 11, eh? Doesn't really speak. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you were it not urgent. To business, then. I have received some most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called forth their revered guardian, the primal Ramu. I'm sorry, may have? Then it is not certain. The Elder Seedseer informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, antecedent, but that fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his more bellicose compeers, Garuda and so on, Ramu is reputed to act only in the defense of his children. I imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the Sylphs or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? If preparations for a summoning were indeed underway, it would surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon. You foresaw this eventuality and did not prevent it. I told Papa Limo. I suppose I could have reported things to Vinvilia earlier, but there honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. Know how the Sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Ramu once right after the calamity, but that was because the Guardians came tramping through the forest. And so long as Castrum Orion stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Ida and I are in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Uldar drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. 'Tis like that the Sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion, and quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am put in mind of Titan and the Kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of man which have paved the way for primal summoning. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be that as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Celeste, through your dealings with the Sylphs of Little Solus, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, might one who has treated with the Sylphs so brutally in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Ramu can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with the Beastmen since time immemorial. But maybe this time we can... Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most affected by Ramu's presence. The Elder Seedseer has requested your personal involvement, Celeste. Pray report to Commander Eluar at the Adder's Nest. Okay. Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter, experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Levin will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow scions will of course lend you whatever support you require. Okay? Time to head to Gridania. whoosh. Yeah, it's so great to see Minfilia get sassy. Like, people hate on her way too much, I find. She's a great character, though. I love her. Alrighty. We are going to head into the Adder's Nest. And then, if everyone will please be patient with me for a few moments. I desperately need to grab another water bottle and work on a cup of tea. So give me about 5 to 10 minutes and I will be right back. Okay. Tea has been obtained. Hydration has been gathered. Bathroom has been used. So I should be good to go for the next hour or two. Once again, thanks to everyone who's tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Alright. Você Uiloa. Uiloa. Você we... Thirst of the Scions, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of a primal is ever a cause for alarm in the leads. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The Elder Seedseer, however, would speak with you first. He is of the opinion that your diplomatic rather than martial skills may better serve our cause, and I will leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray, make your way to Norficus' altar. The conjurer in attendance will admit you to the Lotus Stand. Alright, the Lotus Stand we go. Oh, excuse me. Report to the conjurer. Talk to the Silent Conjurer. The other Scions have already arrived. May I show you in? Let's go. Since this was her starting zone, this hits a little different. Hi, Kane.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramuh is returned unto the forest. Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace. Our guest informs us that the Sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the Primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other Primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelveswood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Ether, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations.
All right.
The Twelveswood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramuh himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples.
All right. Aw, happy Sylph.
You have my thanks. Pray make for Little Solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin. An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelveswood that flinches at its coming. All the lands of Eorzea shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
That east? I would say? goal for tonight is to try and get to the end of 2.3 before we call it quits. Oh, hi, Serpent Lieutenant. Celeste the Scion, I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the primal removal yourself. An unenviable task, but one for which I have no doubt you are well suited. I have been told that your fellow Scions are conducting an investigation of the area as we speak, that we might ascertain the location where the Lord of Leven might be found. I would ask that you abide here until they return with their findings. Okay. Alright, I think we're about to get to the Ramu fight. I was told that a messenger would be sent as soon as your fellow Scions finish their investigation. I do not imagine it will be much longer.
One returns and returns with good tidings. Wise ones have finished searching and have wisely identified the precise location where the touched ones summoned Lord Ramu.
Your timing is impeccable, my fluttery friend. Might you be so kind as to escort this good woman to her fellow Scions?
It would be this one's pleasure, Walking One. Please, please, come with this one.
Hey, Riku, what's up? Appreciate you dropping into work, even though I know you got your own stream to worry about. I'm so glad that the ARR zones have automatic flying. It makes life so much easier. I'm glad I joined after 5.3, so I always had this, but still. Oh, Maxio.
Wise ones have ventured deep, deep within the Sylphlands. These ones must proceed carefully and keep an eye out for touched ones.
Alright. Take care not to aggro enemies. While we're in here. There we go. Oh, rude. Ow. Rude. I don't like that they hit me like that. Have a launch to the base.
Okay. This one is sorry. This one can go no further. Brought you close to Lord Ramu, and this one may turn mean and nasty like touched ones. And so this one must say farewell for now. Walking One will find wise ones not far from here to the south. Go in safety, Walking One.
Okay. Go in safety we shall. Rude. Little ones, I don't. This one does not want to hurt these ones. But these ones are giving this one very little choice in the matter. Hi, Papalumo.
So it's actually you. I am relieved. For a moment I thought we were dealing with another one of those confounded sylph tricksters. I swear, with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing magics, it's a wonder I was able to finish taking my measurements. Yes, it was quite the ordeal. You should have seen the look on your Stolas' face when one impersonating you showed up. That's quite enough, Papalumo. Ahem. My apologies. It's not like me to ramble, sir. At any rate, as I was saying, I have finished measuring etheric activity in the area, and I'm pleased to say I have reached an indispensable conclusion. To wit, that Ramu was called forth in the vicinity of the Sylph's Etherite. Counsels to the Lord of Leven awaits. Alright. Further in we go.
voice acting. Voice acting, yes, no, maybe?
Tynora betrays thee,
Voice
servant
acting.
of hiding.
I forgot there would be a vibration there. Whoops. Burp. Hi, Ramu.
Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan.
I...
I am Ramu, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs?
Well, we need to make
Gridanians
sure that
proffer
we
peace? Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult.
If you want to take it that way, I suppose.
Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest not for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man. Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Redanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other. Thy conflicts have brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed, for light and dark given form when man was born.
I think you're mistaken about that, but...
It would explain much. Not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking?
I'm not here to hurt you. They granted me a sliver of your
Thou
strength,
bearest the
please.
crystal which I bestowed upon my wayward charges. That they should entrust so precious a gift to thee. Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee. Very well. I shall consider thy proposal. Shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Wither mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment.
Well, that doesn't seem exactly fair, does it? Okay, that's fine, I'm sorry, I'm shutting up. I'm shutting up. I'm shutting up.
Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Alright.
Urianger, it is rare indeed to find you so far from a tome.
Oh, Urianger is here.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady. I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramu, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Go ahead. Is it just me, or did they, like, upscale the resolution on some of the Scions' faces? Like, it feels like some of the Scions' face resolutions have been upscaled slightly. That could just be a faint memory, but that feels right. Alright. Let's see how long it takes the queue to pop. Less than 5 minutes, supposedly. So, how's chat this evening? Everyone doing good? Well, that was quick. Come on, yes, tank. Come up in. There we go. Alright, trial time. It's fine, Sylvia. What you getting to eat? It's so cool. He's so different. Fun fact, when you play on a controller, some of the vibrations you get to some of these touchscreens are really freaking intense. Alright. Shiny bubble. That is very interesting. Player comms, which green privileges be like
I
that.
have taken thy measure, bringer of light.
Also, breakfast sounds really good right now.
And I judge thee a worthy champion. The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
Alright, Urianger, what did you see?
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one.
I don't know if you guys can hear, but the dog in the upstairs apartment is scrambling and going nuts. Like right above where my computer is.
In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Ascians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Alright. What are those findings are? Precisely. Nothing for it right now. He's so bummed. Like, Ramu was cool, and you had to kill him. Sad. Celeste, you've returned. Dare I ask how Ramu received your visit? He challenged you to a test of arms. It is well then that you have some experience in such matters. The peoples of both Gridania and the Solace will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Levin has accepted you as the forest's champion of peace. You have performed a monumental duty this day, Celeste. The elder seeds here must be informed of your deeds at once. Alright. Okay. Let's go.
Welcome back, Common Scion. We who knew of your mission have been most anxious to see you return. The Elder Seedseer awaits you within. Let's go. What does Kale have to say? You should have seen Maxia when we got back to Little Solace. Grateful is an understatement. I thought he was going to shake Clodimo's hand off. There we go. It made to Clodina first.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramuh ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell?
Well, he decided to turn it into a test of character, so to speak.
Ramuh made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all.
Kane Senna? As in Volcatoria?
Eorzea must be as one. Yet I fear that dream is still far off.
Well, it depends on where in the game you are. I think Stormblood patch content is where you see her fight, but I'm not 100% sure.
On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elementals both, I thank you for all that you and
her
your fellow
siblings fight a
Scions
lot.
have done.
She herself does take the field, I think, in one of the last dungeons of
have I been
Stormblood.
compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth.
No, Kane's sweet.
Lord Ramuh has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil
I figured you're
begets
pretty
this
early in the
unease in my
game, so
heart?
you've got a while to go before you'll see her take up arms. Alright, Papalymo. Thus ends another daunting mission, eh, Celeste? I'd hoped Lord Ramuh could be persuaded with words alone, but nonetheless, I can only admire the adroitness with which you responded to the Primal's sudden challenge. And it seems that Urianger too was pleased with the outcome. What say you, Celeste? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stones and ponder the lessons of the day? Yeah. Sylvia, I remember her specifically in that dungeon because she does a thing that if you're at level is really important. If you're coming in synced down, you may or may not have to gather near her. But at level, you definitely have to be right up in her space. Alright. Yeah, you start to see the leaders do more and more stuff as you go through the games, Zenful. It's really cool. Welcome back, Celeste. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramuh precedes you. I would fain share news of mine own, but Urianger's discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Levin, our learned companion was struck by a profound insight regarding the nature of the Asian's immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together. Okay. Is this the PowerPoint presentation? I feel like this is the PowerPoint presentation.
If everyone is ready, let us begin.
Yeah, I think this is the PowerPoint presentation.
Urianger, the floor is yours.
Yeah, Sylvia, so you wouldn't have had to worry about...
As all here assembled now know, in its
mechanics
final
so
hours
much.
as our Order's headquarters, the Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Asian clad in white, Elidibus.
Nuts to think that
Unwelcome
Elidibus
though
is
his
set up
presence
as soon as,
was,
like, patch 2.1.
his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Asians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Urianger and I have striven to discover a means by which the Asians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence.
Do tell, Urianger.
In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm.
Or the ethereal sea, yes.
In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated.
Yep, time for world building class, Sylvia.
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us
I
on to
love
the third
bread.
group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting. And in the claws of a Sahagin, no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
Good question, Thancred.
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth a distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them.
The rift, yes.
The Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
Oh no, Thancred, no one's gonna forget
I am
about that
sorry, my
anytime
friend.
soon. Unfortunately.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
That's it. Pokeball them, then destroy the Pokeball. Easy.
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Urianger. Without him, we never would have settled upon a means to rid ourselves. Oh
Beg
yeah, it's so
pardon,
nice and
antecedent,
vague, but it's theoretical.
but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
Urianger's such a good boy.
I shall, Archon.
He's trying to
Thank you.
encourage her. That's precious. I love him so much. He's good. Well, speaking of the rift... The Lord of Levens has returned to the Ether, as was Leviathan before him. Ramu's acquiescence was most intriguing. Inferno, Vortex, Crab, Worm, and Lemon all have now been humbled by the bringer of light. The limitless potential of man, Eidolon's servant, grows mightier by the day. Yet she prospers at great cost to her mistress, whose strength is all too finite. 7 times have the masters survived rejoining. Their souls are grown weak and wan. Yet, even as it innovates, the ardor empowers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted, to forge the final key. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Sophia. And that is the task to which we bend our every effort, question mark, question. I'm gonna guess that's La Habrea. And that is the task to which we bend our every effort. Yep, La Habrea. Divine seed forever wants to quicken Rosalind's fertile soul. We need only lead men to the field. By their eager hands shall a new deity arise. That which was shattered shall be made anew, and the one true God shall come again. Playing this with Shadowbringers and Endwalker knowledge in mind makes this whole scene way more interesting than it is the first time you play it. And when you're like, oh yeah, standard villainous Enterkai, you know. Umuhaha, we are evil bad guys doing evil things. This. Man, this is interesting now. Yes. Their one true God. Guardian of Eorzea. Okay. Yeah. Back then you think, oh, they're just being ominous and vague. Now it's like... Now that the matter of Ramu has, for the present, been put to rest, there's something I would show you, sir. Okay. It is a letter of thanks signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals: Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King Mogulmog XII, Leviathan, and now Ramu. Needless to say, there is only one among our number to have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they were meant for you above all others. I, too, must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done. In the course of your duties, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. You are a true hero, Celeste, and Eorzea is that much the safer for your presence. Oh, come on. Pray, do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own. And that is to say nothing of beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals, too, will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and that went too fast. But we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace. We owe in no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and the people we've won over to our cause in so doing. Our list of enemies has ever been long, but I think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the Sylphs of Little Solace, of the Alamegans and the Dormans who stand with us, determined to halt the dread march of the Empire. And then there are the many unsung individuals who've gathered here in Revenant's Toll, honest men and women who seek to employ their skills for the good of all. Of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow Scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Ascians, and combat it we shall. Indeed.
Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming antecedent. Given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust I will not inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time.
How did I know? They wouldn't manage without the wall. Zenfolk, they just wouldn't.
Alphino, I take the troubles in order that went too fast. There are some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. 'Tis to report such that I stand before you now. That, and to speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. Ah, I have a message for you from Elle. You recall the refugee girl? The one whose parents were missing. They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass thanks to you. Why, Alphino, am I to understand you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out.
Oh, Minfilia. Yugi's so great.
Celeste, you have been away from Revenant's Toe for some time now, I believe. Might I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for the moment, and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yorzan was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? Alright. Let's see what Yorzan wants. Sassy Minfilia is so great. I love it. Especially when she's sassing Alphino. Everyone takes a dunk on Alphino. Everyone just dunks on him. It's great. Alright, Yorzan, what do you want? Look, it's Miss Celeste. She's back from her adventures. Well, you heard you were fighting primals and that they're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, you think you could train us today, Miss Celeste? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals.
What's all this commotion then?
Hoary Boulder and Coltonay! Mr. Hoary Boulder and Mr. Coltonay, did you know that Miss Celeste is back?
So it would seem. Welcome home, Celeste. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I'm known as Hoary Boulder, and this bookish fellow is Coltonay. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we've taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Durman younglings in the arts of combat.
I told you, Mr. Boulder, we are not younglings anymore, we're adventurers. And we were just asking Miss Celeste if she could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside her, don't you?
Well, you've certainly been diligent with the drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordona are ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter-proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Celeste? A demonstration of skill at arms, if you will.
Hoary, if I didn't know you better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against a legend.
Well, mayhaps I am. But what matters the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson? What say you, Celeste? Will you consent to spar with me?
All right, for the children. Hurrah! We have to have a tournament! Come on, everyone, let's prepare our gear for an outing! The kids are so sweet. And Hoary Boulder and Coltonay are so great. Do try not to disappoint them.
Have faith, Coltonay. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make this a worthy contest. The fields to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout.
Alrighty. And out we go. Tilt the bow. And fly out.
Yeah, it's so great, Zinful. Like, they really make the character feel like they're a part of this. It's good of you to agree to this, Celeste. I trust you are ready to begin. Let's go. I'm gonna kick your ass, but let's go. Very well, let's not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Ahem. Ori, are you certain you wish to fight her alone? That is Celeste face. A better way to test my mettle. Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. Damn it, I skipped that. Point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear that the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. Hello, you haven't begun yet, have you? Oh, was that... Oh, Ida. Hello, you haven't begun yet, have you? Ida? Who are all these people? When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. Thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there's still more to come. When I mentioned Celeste's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You best claim victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Oh, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Bowler. It's so cute. You're so sweet. We shall soon see. On your guard. Let's go. I'm gonna kick your ass. We're holding back now. Rude. The power. Tails will be just. T-Bolt will lose, will he? It's not over yet. It can't be. Aye, the children have the right to it. It's time I join the fray. On your feet, Ori. Don't think so. Let me reposition here. Holy spam. I must agree. It was an honor and a privilege. Alright, Ori. Eat rocks in the face. Oh, there he goes. Oh no, he looks hurt. He's so strong, but he can't give up, Mr. Boulder. God, disappoint the younglings. He's so mad. Let's go. No, I face such strength. But it must continue. Nope. We'll stop that. We'll not the implacable foe. And down he goes. I'm a little over-leveled, so it's fine. You bested me. I yield. That was incredible. She did them both at the same time. We knew you couldn't lose, Celeste. None can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I'd much want to do if I'd have to attempt the same. Yeah, he's so honorable. I love Hori and Cultinae. They rarely show up, but when they do, I always smile. Aww, they're checking on their master. That's cute. Impressive as always, Celeste. 'Tis ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on these many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea. Yes, that is a most fitting title. Do you recall when we first met? 'Twas at the memorial service for the Battle of Cartano. At At the time, I was yet attempting to understand this land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abounded, and yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their home was in, I would not have been surprised if so had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. The legate's single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, and the nations too self-involved and unstable. And now? 'Twas you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. 'Twas you who taught me through countless acts of bravery that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was the people. These wonderful, often infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow only to drag themselves back to their feet. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for its inextinguishable courage grew to a fervent wish. A wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I, too, will endeavor to take up the mantle of guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the scions of the Seventh Dawn alone. No, what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascians is a new, expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would continue to aid me in building such an organization, then pray, let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stone, shall we? He might not remember. I mean, he wasn't really paying attention to whoever was in the carriage, I don't think. He was definitely in there, but he may not have paid much attention. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't necessarily pay attention to who was sitting by you on public transport, you know? Yeah, they were either, like, outright asleep or just not paying attention. Yeah. It's not until the memorial service that they, or rather Alphino, talks to you. Alizé is just kind of there. Upset. Thancred, we need to talk about your drinking. Please tell me that's water. Your bout with Hoary Boulder was more stirring than 100 lines of my most passionate poetry. Perhaps I should arrange a sparring match with my own. Oh good, that's water. Okay. Judging you. Alright, Alphino. Thank you for coming, Celeste. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must be ever one step ahead of the case. What I propose is the formation of a new organization. A group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. Oh no. All of us who've been here know what he's talking about, and it doesn't end well. It's Thancred Zenful, he probably was. I'm going to check and see how many more quests I have until completing the patch. So, research here. 3. Okay. We've got a while yet to go. Yeah, we've got a while yet to go before we really get towards the end of patch 2.3. And I'm gonna be honest, my throat is kind of dying on me a little bit, so I think I may need to call the stream here. I'll probably still be playing the game on my main account, but streaming's just gonna have to be hot because my throat is just gone. But everyone who tuned in, I really appreciate you guys coming out and watching. It's helped a lot to kind of power through some of this content. And, yeah, Sylvia, yeah. Thancred has not great coping mechanisms. Let's be real. But I think this is the time that I'm gonna call it. Everyone have a good night, and again, I appreciate you coming out. Bye guys.